What's up? My name's Leighton Flatt.
Name's Levi Light.
We're two stand-up comedians from Springfield, Missouri. This is our first shot at a podcast. This is where we take a topic each week, and we have a 10-minute timer to discuss that topic. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'll just do a new video.
For the
entirely.
longest time.
There we go. All right.
When you say you'll stay with me tonight.
Move all these pillows. You can tell you have a wife. Wasn't a dig. So anyway, we were talking about college and recording equipment died. And
Yeah, we were just talking to each other about how we, don't like college there for a minute. So let's start off. We got 10 minutes on the idea of college. Here's what we did on the first take.
as you could tell, we both did well in college.
Yeah, we did so good in college, we didn't even know it wasn't recording.
Yeah.
So my degree, I got a bachelor's degree in hospitality leadership from Missouri State University.
I got an Associate of Arts degree in electronic media production from Ozarks Technical Community College.
Which taught him to not notice that this first podcast take was not recording.
Yeah, as you could tell, it wasn't recording. So, yeah. Thanks, Mrs. G.
So what I was talking about, my thing is like the only reason I really got the full bachelor's is because I had a program called the A+ program that I did some things in high school. They paid for my associates, and then I got a Pell Grant, paid for the rest of my bachelor's. And I was like, I went full online, and I got a degree in how to cheat on a test online. Quizlet is awesome.
Nice.
If you don't know what Quizlet is, it literally has the answers to every college test, just free.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I never had problems with, like, the academia part of college. It was just always like, I was like, okay, so how do I get a job? And then they were like, well, you got to do this. And I'm like, so that means going out and just freelancing? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, so I've got to get my own equipment. So I can't just use the school's equipment after I graduate. So the only way I could really do that was that then I was aggressively talked into loans. You know what I mean? Where they're like, yeah, you'll get a job and you'll pay it back. It's really not that much money. And, well, you know what I mean? It was aggressive, especially for, I'll be honest, I was dumb for an 18-year-old. I mean, I think everyone's dumb for an 18-year-old, but yeah, I was like, it was real easy to talk me into it. And I was like, yeah, but what's $5,000? Well, that's nothing. That's no money. And then, yeah, so I got the computer. Fucking had a nice computer I could edit with, got a camera, spent some money on a couple of things here and there, and went out, started to become a photographer. It just didn't go well. Apparently, everybody's a photographer.
Oh, anybody
with
that. Any kind of camera is like, let me take your wedding photos. And then they have, like, their watermark that's a half of the screen. That's my favorite, dude.
Yeah. You didn't pay me. These were just for exposure, so you get watermarks.
Well, at the time that I decided to choose my degree, I was working in hotels. That's why I got the hospitality degree.
That's such a weird choice for me. It's
dude.
Like, yep, I'm going to be that guy from Dunstan Checks In that hates monkeys. Like, I don't know. It's like, what are you doing?
I wish I had monkeys, dude. I had meth addicts and stuff that would come in. They'd check in, and they would just run their full underground business right out of our hotel. Dude, I met so many prostitutes and all that stuff. And then I was like, I should get a degree in this.
I'm not going to lie. The guys that are just running a business out of a hotel room, they have more ingenuity than the people that are going to college.
Yeah, they don't even have a degree, and they're out here making all this money.
They're like, what is that, like $67 a day? Yeah, if I can make $800 a day, that's nothing. Like this is better than commercial space. I'll just do this. Like technically, they're brilliant businessmen.
Space.
You know what I'm saying? They can do it.
Well, and so my thing is also like this is how much I cared. So when I graduated, I already had a job, and I was on the road a lot with comedy. So I never picked up my diploma. It's just sitting in a file somewhere. I actually have for all I know, they shredded it. Like I don't even know.
You just made up going to college and walked on the stage on that show in a gown just because you like gowns.
Yeah. Well, and I do like gowns. Yes, I do like gowns. Only if I get a hat with like a tassel on it.
It's Omaha, close enough to home. I'm coming out.
Well, and like to go to Missouri State to pick up my diploma, it's like $15 to park, or you get a ticket. I'm like, I'll get it later. And now it's been like 2 years. I still never went and got it.
It's weird because, like, I'm only 32, but I've hit that age where, like, even if I have to drive by the campus, like, through it or whatever, it's like I feel old to be here. Like, it's like I'm not checking out the chicks. I promise. Well, maybe her, but, like, I'm trying not to. They're out. What are you going to do?
I hate driving by campus in town because it's like 20 mile an hour speed limit because it's a school zone.
I'm gonna say something that's probably not gonna be politically correct, but driving through the campus at MSU is kind of like driving through what I would call Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're walking around, and you're like, everybody's Asian. This is cool. I like this. This is fun. I'm just saying it. Like it's not wrong. It's probably not the right way to say it,
State Bears.
Well, now see, you did that. I didn't do that. So what I said looks fine now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it is weird that we do attract like the one minority of colleges here is Asian for some reason. They're like, I'm gonna go to Missouri and we're gonna invent cashew chicken. Let's go. You know,
they cashew chicken, and which let's be honest, cashew chicken. This has gotten away from college, but it's college thoughts. Cashew chicken is just fried chicken with fancy gravy.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, they're just like, what is this? It was this habanero orange flavored syrup. I'm gonna put that on this chicken
that I fried yesterday and just had it sitting out.
Hey, you make gravy, put wonton in, fat guy eat. We're like, yeah, you nailed it, dude. Get it.
Here's my thing. So like on the college thing, I'm not a huge fan. My wife has like 2 degrees. My brother's got a master's degree.
But she thinks a lot of herself.
I'm not into it, man. Like, I get it. Like, if you have a specific job and they're like, we're not hiring you without a college degree, and you're like, all right, I got to do it.
Well, they're probably not a good job to have.
Yeah, but do you know how many? I mean, there's Nick Nichols, comedian out of St. Louis, has I believe it's a master's degree from what's that school in Rolla, the fancy one. Anyway, Missouri S&T, and they rival MIT. That's like a big, and he is a comedian and a pastor. You know what I mean? Like half the people that get these degrees are like,
does he think he is Brad Bradshaw? Chill out, dude. You're doing too many jobs.
Doctor, professor, spaceman.
Yeah.
Brad Bradshaw.
All the medical marijuanas in Missouri guy. Like, it's just that guy does too many things. Anyway, not Nick Nichols. We're talking about Bradshaw.
Here's my favorite. So a guy I worked with, Ambrose Jones, comedian from Memphis. He has a pharmacy tech degree, certification, or whatever. Never worked a day in his life as a pharmacy tech, but he made his own tincture, and he sells it as his merch.
Wait, like tinctures?
I don't even know what that word means, but he sells them.
Well, I make, like, remember the little blue droppers
that I
made?
Yeah, but not that kind.
Okay,
This one, he sells it to drunk ladies at the shows.
Oh, he's like a chemist. That's cool.
Yeah, but never worked a day in his life, but has a degree. It's weird what people get in education and how they use it. I mean, he's freaking killing it. So props to him.
Dude, this goes way back in the day, but I'll try and be quick. But yeah, basically through my old dealings back when I was younger, I knew a guy. His name was Burl. He went to, I can't remember. He had
Whose name is Burl? What is he, 90 years old?
It was crazy. Yeah, he was like a couple years older than me. I mean, he was probably, at the time, he might have been in his late 20s, early 30s. Now that I think about it, so probably a few years older than me. But yeah, he might have been older. I don't know. He looked a little rough, but he literally lived out of his car.
Burl.
Dude, he lived out of his car, and he had like a master's in like biological chemistry or some shit like that. Like legit, like lived in his car and like went to like Long John Silver's every day to eat because you can get a glass of water and the Crispies. All the ends of the crispy stuff, the breading that pops off, they'll give you that in a cup for free in the water. So there you go, homeless people. At least they used to.
Whoa.
I don't know. Yeah. The dude was a legit G. Like, you talk to him, like, he's smart as can be. Like, but it's like, and he hated like how society ran so much. He was like, I'm not part of it.
Every day, and he ate he's like, all right, I don't need anything off the menu. Give me the Captain D's nuts.
He was broke.
In the cup.
Lived in his car. Yeah, like he would just.
How could he afford the car?
I don't know. Like, I probably just little weird odd jobs he'd do for people or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just. He was a weird dude. I didn't spend a lot of time with him.
Diarrheaing all over that car.
This was before. This was before you had to eat healthy.
Diarrhea.
You remember before, like they told you about eating healthy, and no one knew that their diarrhea habits weren't good. Like,
yeah, it's like
back in the 90s when you could just destroy a bathroom and everybody was like, "That's normal." What'd you have?
Yeah,
Church's chicken, nice.
Go. Yeah, bend over and go is the motto of J.C. Penney's bathrooms.
Well, that's a White Castle dump. How long's it been? Are we done?
We're close.
Did I mess it up?
No, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like the college thing. Like I'm not the guy that's like nobody should go. Somebody should. But screw colleges for charging as much as they do. And I'll real quick before we close. Here's the number one thing I hate about at least college society here in Springfield. They do student living, which is, let's say you have an apartment with 3 bedrooms. Your rent could be anywhere from $800 to like $1,200, and you get that one bedroom, and then the living room's communal, And if like one of the bedrooms isn't in use, like if you have one and your buddy has one and that one nobody rented, they will lock the door.
Yeah.
You have the $900 whatever a month. You get to use your room and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
then
they use that to abuse kids who are on scholarship and have rich parents. And then these dumb kids are like, college, I'm gonna have a few beers.
well, they don't even know
away
that
in
they
the
don't even
day."
know that they're being screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my house is like half of that, and I have a yard and all this stuff, and they're over there. Well, we have a treadmill in the lobby, and sometimes
I will
we serve
say,
pancakes.
I do get the business model in the sense where it's like the kids aren't typically paying for that. You know what I mean? It's usually like rich parents, something like that.
Yeah, but that's
And
not right.
It's not, but at the same time, like I don't hate somebody for getting their money. I do hate them
No.
for not thinking long term because that's not sustainable. But like eventually someone's gonna be like, hey, you're ripping people off, right?
I think if you had a nice place
Yeah.
and you're like, we actually want to help college kids, and it's like $600, but the same, maybe.
Right.
But like this whole thing of like we're going to charge you outlandish because it's right on campus and we know you want it.
It was like, or they just expect them to destroy it. You know what I mean? So it's like we're just, if you're on a probation thing, if anything's broken, like you're out. But
Well, we're like a little bit over, but man,
I will say, let me do my closing take.
okay.
To all the kids out there, college is a scam. Don't go. They're just going to take your money, and you're going to learn way less than you could have if you just watched YouTube videos. Seriously. Everything I learned, I pretty much learned off of YouTube videos, and then the professor just sort of answered a question here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, professors, especially online courses, all they do is they're just like, here's a test I found online.
Oh,
Take it.
I was in class. It was like 2013. I'm in class, and the first thing that my main professor who's doing the EMP 101, first thing he told me, he goes, I'm going to be honest. You're going to ask me a lot of questions, and the answer is going to be Google it, because that's what you're going to have to do in this world. There's not going to be an answer in front of you for everything. Because it makes sense because the technology keeps changing.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're going to have to learn how to look it up. But
Well, hey, maybe we'll do a college part 2, but I think we're at our
we
limit.
could probably end it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can tell.
Right on, 10 minutes. We'll see you next time. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Woo!
Bye, America.
It is true.